Hello students, welcome to the Pole Science of Class 12 Arts, and today we proceed with the same topic from the previous lesson, that is ASEAN, that stands for Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Previously we had completed the topic related to the formation of ASEAN, then establishment of ASEAN, followed by Treaty of Amity and Cooperation, then knowing about the ASEAN flag and its significance, followed by the member countries of ASEAN and their flag and location. Then lastly, we had concluded by knowing about some joint development programs that were undertaken first by the ASEAN. So today we will start from this topic regarding or related to ASEAN. So let us proceed then. Today ASEAN is considered one of the most successful intergovernmental organizations in the developing world. Since its founding, the grouping has expanded to include other Southeast Asian states like Brunei Darussalam in the year 1984, Vietnam in the year 1995, Laos in the year 1997, Myanmar in the year 1997, and Cambodia in the year 1999. So regarding ASEAN, it is considered what? It is one of the most successful intergovernmental organizations, and that too in this developing world. So since its founding, excluding the 5 founding fathers or figures, the other 5 countries that were actually included, making it to a total number of 10 countries in the organization named ASEAN, who were that other 5 members and when they were added actually. First of all, the number 6th country that was added as the member of ASEAN was Brunei Darussalam. It was in the year 1984. Then followed by Vietnam in the year 1995. Then Laos was number 8, that was in the year 1997. Number 9th was Myanmar 1997, and last number 10 was Cambodia, that was included in the year 1999. So overall we can say that there are 10 member countries under the organization ASEAN. After that, about its aims and purposes, what are it? As set out in the ASEAN Declaration, the aims and purposes of ASEAN are: number 1, what is the main aims and purposes of ASEAN are there? The first point is to accelerate the economic growth. Clear? Social progress and cultural development in the region through joint endeavors in the spirit of equality and partnership in order to strengthen the foundation for a prosperous and peaceful community of Southeast Asian nations. That means what? The main aims and purposes related to the ASEAN is what? It is there to accelerate economic growth, social progress, and cultural development. 3 things. Number 1 is economic growth, number 2 is social progress, number 3 is cultural development in the region. That means whatever the 10 countries are there in their region, they will try to accelerate the economic growth, social progress, and cultural development through joint endeavors. Means jointly they will do through cooperative way, and that will be done in the through the spirit of equality and partnership in order to strengthen the foundation for a prosperous and peaceful community of Southeast Asian nations. That means what? It aims at gaining economic growth, social progress, and cultural development through joint endeavors, through cooperation, which will again give what? Spirit of equality and partnership will be given. And if equality and partnership is given, that will again strengthen what? Whatever the foundation is there, that foundation it will give through equality and partnership in order to make Southeast Asian nations a peaceful and prosperous community. This is related to the aims and purposes. After that, secondly, to promote regional peace and stability through abiding respect for justice and the rule of law in the relationship among countries in the region, and adherence to the principles of the United Nations Charter. And secondly, apart from promoting economic growth, social progress, and cultural development, it will also promote regional peace and stability. Clear? And how they will promote regional peace and stability? By giving respect to justice and the rule of law. Whatever the rule of law is there, by abiding by that rule of law, they will try to promote regional peace and stability. Clear? And also by respecting to the United Nations Charter also, by following the law and order also, and by following the principles of United Nations Charter also, they will try to promote regional peace and stability. After that, to promote active collaboration and mutual assistance on matters of common interest in the economic, social, cultural, technical, scientific, and administrative fields. Apart from promoting regional peace and stability, economic growth, social progress, and cultural development, thirdly, they will try to promote active collaboration. That means they will collaborate with each other, these 10 member countries, and they will also give mutual assistance on 6 matters. Starting from number 1 is the economic matter, social matters, then cultural, fourthly technical, fifth scientific, and sixth is related to the administrative fields. So related to these 6 fields, they will have an active collaboration between themselves, and they will also follow mutual assistance. After that, to provide assistance to each other in the form of training and research facilities in the educational, professional, technical, and administrative spheres. So apart from having mutual assistance on matters like economic, social, cultural, technical, scientific, and administrative fields, they will also give or provide assistance to each other. That means to each of the 10 member countries, they will provide assistance related to what? Related to fields like educational field, professional field, technical field, and administrative field. So based on these 4 departments also, starting from educational, professional, technical, and administrative spheres, they will provide assistance and help to each other. After that, to collaborate more effectively for the greater utilization of their agriculture and industries, the expansion of their trade, including the study of the problems of international commodity trade, and the improvement of their transportation and communications facilities, and the raising of living standards of their peoples. After that, the next aims and purposes is that it will actually work more effectively for the promotion or for the development of 2 things, that is agriculture and industry. Clear? Apart from that, they will also study the problems of international commodity trade, and after studying the problems, they will try to improve also related to the transportation and communications facilities. And lastly, they will do what? They will try to raise the living standards of their people. That means the lifestyle of the people they will try to change through upgrading the individuals or the peoples of their region by giving them better wages in the upcoming time. So related to this aims and purposes, we should understand that the first and foremost thing they will do is to collaborate or more effectively related to agriculture and industries. After that, they will study the problems related to international commodity trade. Then after having read the problems, they will try to improve their transportation and communications facilities, and at last they will try to raise the standard of living of their people. After that, the next point related to the aims and purposes is to promote Southeast Asian studies. That means whatever the Southeast Asian studies are there, it will try to promote that thing also. Clear? After that, the last aims and purpose of the ASEAN is to maintain close and beneficial cooperation with existing international and regional organizations. with similar aims and purposes and explore all avenues for even closer cooperation among themselves. That means the ASEAN is one of the organizations, and along with ASEAN, the ASEAN itself is trying to what? It is trying to maintain close and beneficial cooperation with existing international and regional organizations like European Union or the United Nations. They want to maintain what? Close and beneficial cooperation. So that what will happen, if suppose international organization like the United Nations and regional organization like the European Union, if this kind of organizations have similar aims and purposes, that is similar to that of ASEAN, they will do what? They can explore all avenues for even closer cooperation. So that if all of these organizations have similar views regarding a particular point, then they can work for even better cooperation among themselves. Clear? After that, regarding the fundamental principles of the ASEAN, in their relations with one another, the ASEAN member states have adopted the following fundamental principles as contained in the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation in Southeast Asia of 1976. As regarding this point, we have already read that what are the things that they have actually come for mutual agreement by signing the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation in 1976. They have, number one, they have come to what? They have come to the condition that they will give mutual respect for the independence, sovereignty, equality, territorial integrity and national identity of all nations. So first and foremost thing that is under the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation in Southeast Asia of 1976 is that they will give mutual respect for the independence, sovereignty, equality, territorial integrity and national identity of all nations. Secondly, the right of every state to lead its national existence free from external interference, subversion or coercion. That means what? Suppose assume that there were at that time 5 member countries. So in between that 5 member countries, they will have mutual respect as according to point number 1 regarding their independence, sovereignty, equality, territorial integrity and national identity. But apart from that, they will also maintain what? That external country or external interference should not be there regarding to any of the 5 founding member countries. Clear? That means that 5 member countries should not interfere in others' internal affairs. That country should maintain its internal affairs by themselves only. No external or the member country should come and interfere in that internal affairs of that particular country. So this was also been put under consideration while signing the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation. Clear? After that, non-interference in the internal affairs of one another. As I have told you earlier that they have also, according to this Treaty of Amity and Cooperation of 1976, they also agreed that they will not interfere in the internal affairs also and external affairs also. And settlement of differences or disputes by peaceful manners. So whatever if any disputes or conflicts came in between the 5 member countries, or this will also be followed to other 5 also, making it to a number of 10 member countries. So if any differences, disputes or conflicts are there between these member countries, they will solve these disputes or conflicts by peaceful way, not through war. After that, renunciation of the threat or use of force. So they will either not use, they will try to solve it by peaceful manners. Apart from that, they will not give threat or they will not use the power of force or military, maybe that military power or any other power, they will not use also, and they will not give threat also to settle any disputes. And last but not the least, they will give effective cooperation among themselves. Clear? And whatever the thing, the most important thing that is required to maintain a peaceful settlement of disputes through peaceful manner and not using threat or force, if this is to be done, then cooperation is much needed among the 10 member countries. So these were the 6 points related to the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation in Southeast Asia. So next you can see that the countries that are related to ASEAN: Malaysia, Laos, Vietnam, Brunei Darussalam, Thailand, Philippines, Singapore, Myanmar, Cambodia, Indonesia. And in the lower part it is written we are ASEAN. And in the member countries name you can see that one quotation is written, love and peace. It is nicely made. And in the extreme right hand side you can see the flags of all those 10 member countries. And related to the picture you can see that it is written one vision, one identity, one community. Clear? So with this I come to the end of this topic ASEAN, and I hope that whatever the points I have made you understand related to the point ASEAN, it is now very much clear. Today we have gone through the ASEAN and the member countries that were added, namely Brunei, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar and Cambodia. After that we have gone through the aims and purposes of ASEAN Declaration. There were overall 7 points related to the aims and purposes. After that we have tried to understand about whatever the fundamental principles were included when the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation was signed between the ASEAN countries in 1976. There were around 6 points related to this. Then we have gone through this lovely picture which gives a message of love and peace, including the 10 member countries. And lastly we have gone through another picture which says ASEAN, 10 member countries, who has one vision, one identity and one community. That means through cooperation. So with that I will wind up today's topic. Thank you.